Hi from Dr. Sam in the City. Emma and I decided in our wisdom that today we would share some of our most embarrassing beauty moments. So supposedly we're experts, but you know what? Sometimes it goes horribly wrong for us too.
It does.
Yeah, and what was it that made us think about this? You were telling me about...
I was telling you about my Dermablend story.
Yes.
So it's so bad, but I went to this lovely joint 18th and 50th birthday party with people I didn't know that well. And I'd done my makeup really nicely with some Dermablend on, and somebody went to give me a hug. So the host went to give me a hug, and he had this amazing DJ on, and he gave me a big hug, and unfortunately my face came into contact with his suit, and as I came out of the embrace, I saw that he had Dermablend all over his shoulder, as did my husband, who was just like, Emma, what have you done? I think though, then there was we went away, and I think obviously someone had told him that he had this, because then he went away and got himself cleaned up, and by the time he came back for the sort of procession, the birthday procession, it had gone.
It was pristine. So that got me to thinking, what was my most epically embarrassing moment? And there's been a few.
There's been a few.
Let me tell you. But I think probably the most visible embarrassment was I was due to go to Milan to film for a brand, and you and I had been invited away on a lovely weekend to view a hotel, and they'd arranged beautiful massages and everything for us. And now I know my skin to be a fickle, difficult creature, so I'd specifically said, whatever you do, please don't put fragranced oils on my face. And that was fine, they didn't. But I really did, stupidly, forget to think of my face and my neck and chest. So, super zen after this gorgeous massage, and you and I a couple of hours later were chilling over lunch and a glass of Chardonnay, I think. And you're like, ooh, you're a bit pink. I looked in the mirror, and over the next hour, I literally turned fire engine red, like DEFCON 5, major full-on fluoro.
It was quite extreme.
And for filming the next day in Milan, they produced this gorgeous white open lacework dress, visible hair. I have never worn more Dermablend, speaking of Dermablend, in my life than I did. And I just could see these Italians looking at me going, she's a dermatologist.
Well, neither of us had anything in our kits, did we?
No topical steroids,
nothing like that.
I mean, I do that when I go abroad, but not so much the UK, but I've changed my practices. So yeah, know your skin, know what's going into your beauty treatments if you're having a little pamper, because there can be dire consequences, especially when filming the next day in Italy.
Never do anything the day before you're filming.
No, leave it be, it's so true. Don't use any new products, no nasty surprises.
I think sometimes as well, because we are experts, we can fall into traps. So I don't think I've ever told you about this episode where I was going to my husband's best friend's wedding, and the day before I was like, actually, let's go for some lash extensions, perfect. And they said to me on the phone, you need to come in for a patch test for the glue. I was like, my skin's completely fine, I'm not sensitive at all, I'm not coming in. And they really warned me, they were like, really, you do need to come in. I said, no, it's completely fine. So I went down, my lash extensions done, and had the most horrendous irritant reaction to it. I don't think I was truly allergic, but I was really irritated, swollen eyes.
How bad are we talking?
Like, it was quite bad. It was the day, it was terrible. So it was quite quick, actually. So I think it was an immediate sort of irritancy. But because the eye area is so easy to get swollen, the next day it was still quite swollen. My husband was like, what have you done? It was bad. So I always patch test now.
Oh gosh, no, things around the eyes.
Terrible.
Asking for trouble.
What was I thinking?
No, I know.
Busy lady.
I remember, okay, just thinking now more about the embarrassment, but I did once end up, whilst I was working as a junior doctor, having a slight palpitations episode, and the cardiology registrar in his wisdom whisked me off to A&E and put me on a monitor. And I tell you now that even though my heart rate was like 150 plus, all I was worried about was I hadn't had my pedicure done freshly, and I might have had some stubble on my legs. Could be dying, but concerned about the grooming down south.
It's a tricky one, particularly when you know everybody in the hospital.
I know, like, did you see that Dr. Sam off the nails? That's what I was thinking.
I'm sure they weren't, but I'm
probably still known for that in UCL, according to, you know, in my mind's eyes. Yeah, exactly, maybe. Rubbish petty.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, I think you and Fake Tan, I feel certain that you might have had a moment.
Why are you looking at me like
you wear quite a lot of Fake Tan? You're not orange. No.
I tell you why I wear a lot of Fake Tan as well, is because I'm freckly, you probably can't really see from here, and actually it sort of evens things out a little bit. So I think it's good. And I do wear a lot of fake tan because I never, ever, ever tan.
You get the legs out all year round, why not?
The best thing about fake tanning was I had a spray tan, and my daughter, who was very little at the time, I don't know, 2 or 3, had got out of her bed and come into my bed, and the next day she woke up with these lines of fake tan and had to go into nursery, and I was so embarrassed because it was really obvious.
Oh, that is quite funny. She's so fair as well. There's nowhere to hide.
It was bad. It was bad.
I'm just thinking about events, because I think that things relating to work, because we're sort of meant to look like we know what we're doing, they're always the thing of kind of greatest like cause for concern. And I remember I actually, because I don't get spots very often nowadays, but I would still have that in my genetics. I'm still prone to it for whatever reason. I was about to do a big brand event and they were live periscoping, which scared the life out of me because it was the first time that happened. And I had a beauty awards breakfast the next day, and of course first thing in the morning everything's quite bright and lit, again nowhere to hide for, you know, a spot ridden dermatologist. So I think I might have injected something that I wasn't supposed to. Now just so you know, for emergencies, so you know, 3 days before a wedding or a special event, we will inject a big spot with steroid.
But you have to choose your spot carefully.
You have to choose your spot carefully. This was not the right spot, Emma.
No.
I think you can see that we are mere mortals, that things do go horribly wrong, usually when it least needs to. And yeah, I think that level of public humiliation will do for now.
Yeah, I think so. Laid ourselves bare.
Thank you for sharing those intimate moments, Emma. I enjoyed.
It's a pleasure.
Please do share your funniest and or most disastrous beauty disasters in the comment section down below. Bye for now.